Our first segment was shot in Hohenwald, Tennessee. 2007 graduate Hannah Mowry visits the elephant sanctuary to check up on an old friend, Bunny the elephant.
Elephants have been walking among us for millions of years in Africa, Asia, and more recently in zoos all across the world. The decline of the elephant species has been contributed by captivity, destruction of their natural environment, and poaching. Today I will be speaking with co-founders Scott Belay and Carol Buckley of the Hohenwald Elephant Sanctuary and Eric Beck, General Curator of the Mesker Park Zoo, about Bunny's past in Evansville, Indiana, her trip to the sanctuary at Hohenwald, and her present condition. Hi, I'm Hannah Mowry, a senior at Bosse High School, and today we're in Hohenwald, Tennessee at the Elephant Sanctuary, looking around at the facilities and following up on Bunny the elephant. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Elephant Sanctuary. This is our newest barn. We call it the New Asian Barn because it's all for Asian elephants. We currently have 8 residents here, and the barn was completely...
Before we get too far into the interview, let's go back to Mesker Park Zoo in Evansville, Indiana, for a moment to learn more intimately about Bunny's past and why she ended up at the sanctuary. Now I would like for you to meet Eric Beck. Eric is the General Curator for the Mesker Park Zoo in Evansville, Indiana. Eric, could you tell me how you got started with Mesker and what your relationship with Bunny was?
Sure. I've been at Mesker Park Zoo since 1995. I started out as a zookeeper here, and my relationship with Bunny was that she'd been here for 50 years, so she worked with a whole lot of people. I was fortunate enough right before she left to go to Tennessee, I was able to work with her. And I was also involved in getting her trained to go on the trailer, and we followed her down there on her trip and spent the following day with her to get her used to her new home.
How old was she when she was brought here?
Well, we know she was less than 2 years old because we estimate that she was born in 1952. She arrived at Mesker Park Zoo here in Evansville in 1954. So somewhere in between that time, she was probably just moseying around the country before she ended up here.
Did Bunny have any health problems when she first came here?
Well, it was 1954, so we don't know a lot about what happened with her when she first got here. She was a very young animal. The pictures of her show her as pretty much a baby elephant, so probably not a lot of health problems when she first arrived.
All right, so could you tell me what her environment was like at Mesker?
Her environment here at Mesker Park Zoo was pretty state-of-the-art for 1954. It was a brand new building. She had a big yard out here with a pool, and it was, like I said, everything was brand new. Actually, over time, the industry standards changed, or the way zoos operate changed, and we knew that the space that we had for her was too small to hold a herd of elephants.
Well, could you tell me what prompted Bunny to move to Tennessee?
The decision was a long, hard decision about moving Bunny to Tennessee, and what it really amounts to is the industry standards for housing elephants at a zoo, at a good zoo like Evansville's, was getting more and more difficult. You had to have bigger yards, you had to have at least 4 or 5 female elephants living together, you had to have a separate yard for a bull elephant or a male, you had to have different setups for people to work with the elephant. Because our setup here, we worked with elephant, we stood right next to her, and that's pretty dangerous. All the new exhibits, or newer updated exhibits, have areas where the people can work, keepers can work with the animal and not be right next to it. So they're not in a dangerous situation. The zoo at that time had to make a decision where we're going to be able to have what we would need to house elephants. And at that time, the decision was made, said, no, we don't have what we need here to take care of elephants well, so it's in Bunny's best interest not to spend the rest of her life here alone, but to spend it at a place like the sanctuary in Hohenwald, Tennessee, with thousands of acres and other elephants.
How did the general public react to that decision?
It was really, and in most cases, because zoos have made this decision since us to move elephants to the sanctuary, and before us to move elephants to the sanctuary, and it's always 2 opinions. It's right, whether it's down the middle or whether it's there's a group of people who think it's the best thing in the animal's interest to move it to Hohenwald. It's a great place, and it's not in the best interest to be at the zoo at that time. And then there's a whole other group of people that say she should stay at the zoo, or the elephant should stay at the zoo, and you shouldn't move her. And that's the way Evansville was typical of where this decision is made in any other zoo where there is split. There were people that didn't want her to go, and there were people that were 100% behind her going.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Elephant Sanctuary. This is our newest barn. We call it the New Asian Barn because it's all for Asian elephants. We currently have 8 residents here, and the barn was completed in spring of 2006.
So how many elephants can you accommodate in this barn?
This barn is a 9-stall barn. Very likely we can accommodate up to 18 elephants in there. We say we can have 2 elephants per stall. They would have to be compatible. You know, they'd have to get along in order to get in the stall. That's not hard to do. It's not hard to find 2 compatible elephants. And actually, a funny story with Bunny, one of her first nights when she came into the old barn, we had the stall mat still. She stacked up about 8 or 10 of them and laid on top of the stack of mats.
Oh.
And we just had to laugh at her in the morning. She's just hilarious. She is quite the character.
Wow. So how do you go about transporting those elephants, like from where they were from to here?
We have a custom designed elephant trailer, which is just basically take a standard trailer. This one was actually donated by UPS. And they renovated all the outsides and made it look pretty and put new flooring in, insulated the walls, added some vents, added a couple extra sets of doors for us. And we went in and made it elephant proof on the inside. Misty's actually drinking out of the hose right now, and probably in a second she's just going to start playing with the hose. They can drink out of their trunk, you know, through the trunk. They suck up water with the end of their nose, hold it in their nose, and then blow it into their mouth. But they kind of get spoiled sometimes with the hose, and they drink directly out of the hose.
So how long is the lifespan of an elephant?
In captivity, the average lifespan is about 35 years. In the wild, it's 60 to 70.
Wow.
So in captivity, it's almost half of what it should be.
Why is that?
Completely improper diet, improper habitat. One of the biggest issues is not enough space. Without having space, they can't get enough exercise. The surfaces they're standing on are too hard. They become too compacted. Either concrete inside the barn all the time, or when they're outside in an isolated area, they tend to, the ground that they walk on gets really hard and compacted. So it's almost like walking on concrete even when they're outside. So that causes a lot of bruising in their feet. Bunny loves the outdoors. Bunny's always the last holdout to come in the wintertime, and she normally stays outside for 1 or 2 nights that are right around 30 degrees, and then she's like, all right, I think I'm cold enough. I'll come in the next time it gets that cold.
So besides these elephants around here, how many elephants do you have in the whole sanctuary?
The entire sanctuary is comprised of 19 elephants right now.
Why was Tennessee chosen for the elephant sanctuary?
Well, there's a lot of things about Tennessee that really served the purpose. We made a list of what do elephants need. We looked to the wild for that. And so we looked at climate, the temperature, rainfall, growing season, lay of the land, vegetation, all of those things. And in searching for a location, this part of Tennessee served that purpose.
What was Bunny's condition when she moved to the sanctuary?
When Bunny moved here, she had a foot condition that was rather severe. Her medical records documented that for over 20 years she had abscesses out of each nail on her feet, all 4 feet. And so when she arrived, she had that condition, and she was, I guess you could say she was a little overweight, but that's sort of her. So she's still a little overweight, but really her only problem was her feet.
How did Bunny adapt to the elephants here?
Well, it was as if she had been here her whole life, as if she had lived with elephants her whole life.
Is this sanctuary open to the public for viewing?
No, as a true sanctuary, we're not open to the public. What we do and what most sanctuaries do is we focus on the welfare of the animal first and foremost. And many times it's a disadvantage to the animal to be on exhibit. Usually what happens is they're kept in small spaces, but we recognize that education is very important. And so what we do is we reach people through the internet, through our website. Matter of fact, people tell us that they learn more through our ELICAM than they learn when they go and see elephants live in zoos and circuses.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the ELICam?
The ELICam is many field cameras that are out in the habitat that is actually streaming on our website. If you go to elephants.com, you'll see a little icon that says ELICam. Hey, Bunny, we have a present for you. Your friends at the Evansville Zoo and Botanic Gardens sent you a basket of goodies. What do you think? See? See that? Yes. Now, but you have to share, right? Because it's your family. You want to share with your family? Yes? Okay. I'm going to give you the watermelon. Here we go. Whoops. Ready? Oh, there she is. Such a good girl. And here comes Tara for hers. Should I give Tara this one? Let's give this one to Tara. Come here, Tar. Good girl. Bunny says you can share. Oh, okay. Here we go. Good girl. And how about you, Shirley? Here you go, sweetie. Shirley Bird. Oh, Shirley Bird. Oh, I can't reach. Good girl. Oh, there we go, Shirley. That was very sweet of you to share, Buns. Yeah, that was good, huh? Oh, that was good. What a good girl.